Hi everybody, welcome back to my collection. Today I'm going to talk about when and how to transplant your caudiciform. I've had so many questions regarding that, so let's discuss that briefly before we actually remove this baby right here. So what you want to do 24 to 48 hours before you're planning to remove a specimen from its container, you want to make sure it's as healthy as possible. So you want to transplant when it's in the growing season or at the beginning of the growing season, not when it's dormant. So you want to water it thoroughly before, and you want to use at least some vitamin B1 at a minimum, or what I use is rhizotonic. You can get that online. Drench it thoroughly a couple days before with either mixture, and then you'll be ready to go. Now you know the roots are going to be ready, the plant's ready to be removed from its pot. Here we go. We're going to remove this puppy from its plant, from its pot. I recommend strongly that you get something flat to go all the way around to loosen this up, to try to minimize damage to the roots. So you go all the way around, break it loose. Now we go to next phase, rubber mallet. Go all the way around and you get it loose. Now don't make the mistake of trying to lift this out. You're definitely going to do damage. So now what you want to do is you want to lay it down, hit the bottom again. So I can hear it's loose now. You're going to tilt it up and there it comes. There it is. Ta-da! It's out. And we have a nice little caudex under here. So that's how you carefully remove it. And you see how it's nicely intact? We have done very little damage. Now, what do you do next with this guy? You have to make some decisions. How much of that caudex do you want to reveal, or just leave it as is? So this is, we need something about 8 inches across and about 6 inches deep. So let's break this all up here. Show those roots. Now I can see underneath here that the caudex is coming all the way down here. So I'm not going to show that now. I'm going to repot it, stage it, and then in a couple years from now, I will remove it again to show more of the caudex and lift it up. But I think this is probably good for now. Now the next thing we're going to do is let's look at the plant and see what needs to be done to prune it to get it right. So I want this to be an upright Pachypodium, not cascading. So that's coming off. And that's coming off. So now, and this is coming off. And you see I'm cutting this where I see some new growth coming out, right there. So now you can really get a good visual of that caudex. So let's go and get a pot. So follow me, everybody. Selected a couple of pots that I think would work well, but you never know until you give it a try. What you think is going to work may not. Here we go. I've selected the pot for it. I know it's going to be perfect. And yes, it has a good drainage hole. And yes, it needs a screen. And that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to put a screen in here, just like that. Now, what I normally do is put put an inch layer of pumice on the bottom of this, and then a good mixture of cactus and succulent mix and 50% pumice. But I already have that mixed up here, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. And don't pack it down tight, keep it loose. You want room for air and for the roots to grow. If you pack it real tight and dense, it's more difficult for them. And now we're going to place this baby. Almost. I need to take a little more of this bundle of dirt out from the bottom. This is going to have a nice root ball under here. See, we'll get all that out. We don't need it. There it is. Now it's going to go in just like that. And I selected this pot so I'll have some room for some good staging. What you should never do is use a pot this size and put a small specimen in here and put some large rocks. Then you're kind of hiding that little specimen. Remember, your plant is the highlight. You want to showcase that plant. You don't want it hidden amongst all this other rock formations on top of your very large pot. So the size of your pot is really dependent on the size of your specimen. So if you have a small specimen, it should be in a pot that big, not in a pot this big filled with rocks. So here we go. This is in here now, just like this. And now it comes time to, how do I want to stage this? I'm definitely going to put, I have room now to select some rocks and put them here, and maybe one here, and maybe even one behind it. So I've selected a few, and this is how I'm going to stage it. One back here. I'm going to put one over here. I'm going to put another one over here. And this little guy goes to market right there. When you're putting in your rocks, don't just lay them on top. You want to make sure they're below the surface so it looks like they're part of the plant, not just somebody put them there. So now the final stage, your topping. There's different types, different sizes, different colors. This is what is going to finish this and make it look fantastic. Here we go. Fill it in there, a little there, a little there. So all these small visible roots you want to remove. It's unnecessary. You want to clean this all off. Get all these out so you don't see any of this. You just want to see the magnificence of that caudex. So there you go. Here it is. Here's the selected pot. Here it is in its final position, the Pachypodium. Here's staged with the rocks that I've selected that I think enhance the beauty of the plant and works well with the pot. So this is one beautiful image. And now I can add it to my caduciform garden. So I hope this was informational for you. And voila, I'm all done. Until next time, giddy up everybody. This is heavy.
How much do you think it weighs?
25, 30.
Pretty cool over here. Where I got married.
Here we go. Let's find a little home for it. There we go. I think she looks good there.